Cheers! Hello! Let's talk about everything I manifested in October. I'm gonna break down my entire process that I use, every trial and tribulation I went through, new beliefs I had to integrate, expanders I had to find, and the dirty deets. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ashley, and I'm super excited to give you just all the details on my life. So first we're gonna start off with my process for manifestation, because there's so many different ways to manifest. There's the law of attraction, the law of assumption, there's laws, all of these laws. And I found the best way to manifest is actual neural manifestation, which is a term coined by Lacy Phillips and her company To Be Magnetic. And I really like it as someone who is both very spiritual and both very logical. I like that there's science behind the manifestation process. If you do not know about To Be Magnetic, start by listening to the Expanded podcast. Our podcast is amazing. It'll give you an insight into the world, and so will my process that I break down for you today. So basically with neural manifestations, the idea is that to attract the things that you want in life, you don't need to think positive. You don't need to say what you want and then it'll come to you. You need to feel worthy of those things on a subconscious level, not in a brain level where you're like, I am successful, but like in a subconscious level, what's going on in the back of your mind is always looping, I am successful. If something happens to show you you're not successful, it doesn't phase you because you come back grounded to, no, I am pretty successful. And I'm going to show you examples of how that showed up in my life in October, and when I was grounded, how it worked out for me, and when I was not grounded, how I figured out how to fix it. The first part of like manifesting things through To Be Magnetic is knowing your authentic code, which is basically like, who are you at your core? I think a lot of times we can want to manifest stuff from ego, like I want millions of bajillions of dollars, which like so true, same, but like, is there a more authentic way of going about what you want to manifest? So for example, my authentic code, there's 4 core codes, is luxury, which is like freedom, safety, exploration, nice things, feeling cozy, all those vibes. I'm a Taurus if you cannot tell. 2, creativity. So like having a place to express myself. 3, spirituality or personal development, which is like manifestation and my tarot card readings that I do and journaling and meditation, all of those things. And my last one is community. I love to feel connected to people, my people, the right people, the people who have my values, all of those things. So that's my authentic code. In her program, she like has a whole thing that helps you figure that out. I've also worked with my clients to help figure out their core values, which is like kind of very similar to this, but it's a lot of fun to know that because this basically becomes your guiding pillar of your life. Like, am I living my authentic code? So every day I like to think like, okay, did I do things to fulfill my authentic needs? Did I feel luxurious in some way? And that for me might be, you know, not working at 1 p.m., like being done in the middle of the day. Did I do something creative? A lot of time that's me creating content. Did I do something for spirituality? A lot of times that's journaling. Did I have some kind of community connection? Call a friend, call my sister, talk to my husband, those kinds of things. Now, once you know that, then you can create a manifestation list. Your like core manifestation list of like your true beliefs. I'm talking first a macro list of like everything you want to happen in the 6 to 9 months, and then a micro list of like anything you want to happen before then. And the cool thing is like a lot of times when I've made my manifestation lists in the past, they are not from my place of authentic code. They're just kind of things I think I want because I think I should want them. And a lot of times I'll make my list and then I'll reference back to my authentic code and be like, does this fulfill some part of my authentic code? Or is this just my ego telling me that I should have these things because it thinks I should have these things? And don't get me wrong, I want to manifest lots of money, and like that could be an ego thing, but I value luxury, so I know it is not. So after you have those things done, the To Be Magnetic manifestation process is really made up of 3 parts. 1, unblocking things that are stopping you from attracting your manifestations and keeping you in low self-worth. 2, expanding yourself to see, to believe that the things that you want are possible, but finding people who are doing the things you want to do. 3, listening to pings and taking aligned action and passing tests and overcoming triggers that come your way. And so your expanders are going to be people who are like you in some kind of way, doing the thing that you want to do. Following pings. Pings are like intuitive downloads or ideas that you get, following those and taking action that aligns with who you want to be, your authentic code, those kinds of things. And your tests And like, I think a lot of times, like they talk about this in the expanded podcast, like tests are not pass fail. Tests are just like opportunities for you to see if you've expanded your self-worth. So for example, in the past, if I used to always get really triggered when anything about money would come up and I would like get really anxious and whatever, like passing a test around money would be like, oh, someone talked about money. And instead of like getting really anxious, I would be like, oh, okay, no, I'm safe, I'm good, you know? And it's like getting to that place of really feeling grounded within yourself. So that's the manifestation process. Now let's dive into what I did in October to manifest some stuff. Hello, Maxi boy. What are you doing, little baby? Okay, so the next thing that we have to talk about, and the first thing in my process is the pings. What are the weird intuitive hits that I got that said, hey, Ashley, you should probably do this thing? Okay, so the first part of my manifestation process with the pings was like not very clear pings. You know, those intuitive downloads, weird things that you get told to do. Mine were more like, go check the mail right now. And that's where I got one of my manifestations I'll tell you about at the end. Another one was like, go sit by the water, and like good ideas would come to me. I would have like lunch by the water. So that would happen. And then they started getting more clear. The first one that I got was, I was working on my program for my coaching business called Burnout Breakup. And it was originally gonna be a 6-month program, but instead of making it 6 months, I got the idea, okay, make it 3 months. And that was really after thinking about my authentic code. What do I like doing with my time? Do I wanna spend 6 months with people coaching them, or would I rather spend 3 months with people coaching them? And I have a lot of history with coaching. I've almost been a coach full-time for 3 years, so I have the luxury of thinking back to past experiences and be like, did I like working in long-term programs? What was the benefit to me? What was the benefit to clients? And I got the ping, make it 3 months. And I had a lot of reservations around this because I was already promoting it was gonna be 6 months. I was already thinking about it being 6 months. I had designed the whole curriculum for 6 months, but I was like, nope, we're following the ping, we're making it 6 months. And so that's what we did. A little manifestation break. I'm making a little wrap, but I also have leftover beans and rice from Chipotle, so I think I might sprinkle that in. And again, if you've seen previous episodes, this is way too big to be a wrap. I'm so stuck, but it's gonna be delicious. Pro tip, get the kids meal when you go to Chipotle. The kids quesadilla comes with so many goodies. And now I have leftovers from a time that I got it this week. And it's going in my little wrap. Look at that, look at that. Oh my God. I'm just gonna eat it like a giant taco. My sister said the next time I make it overflow, make 2 wraps. Look, I got it to like almost do the wrap thing. 5 other pings I followed are starting my YouTube channel and finally posting YouTube videos, posting to YouTube Shorts, making my very first vlog. That was high on the ping list for years and years and years, but I did it and it was so fun. Make a TikTok of Max, and then I got like 3,000 views after a 200 view slump, so that felt really good. And then the craziest ping of all, the one I could not believe, but I just knew I had to follow. Cancel Burnout Breakup, a program that was supposed to start next week, a program that I've been selling for 3 weeks, a program that has sold no clients, and I should have known it wouldn't sell any clients, and you're gonna find out why when we bust out my journal and you get the dirty, dirty details.
So, we're gonna see something else right now.
Done. Also, side note, I've been watching the Selena Gomez documentary like throughout my day as I have breaks and stuff. BRB while I cry. I was not ready for this emotional Friday. Yeah. So for a manifestation process that's all about, you know, having your subconscious self-worth be equivalent to the thing that you want to manifest, I obviously couldn't just follow my pings into success. I had to do some inner work, which is really good when you're using the To Be magnetic system. I swear this is not sponsored. I would love it to be though, because it's changed my life. But they have all of these deep imaginings, these reprogramming meditations, these journal prompts to help you uncover the things that are blocking you from your manifestation. So let's talk about all the things that I unblocked in October. So the first one, and I've been working on it for quite some time, is a core wound. And a core wound is kind of like something that shows up over and over and over again in your life in different ways. And so for me, I have this core wound that I have to be perfect to be successful or to be loved or to get attention. So that, like, classic case of perfectionism. And so that looks like, you know, when I'm creating an offer or a program, it has to be perfect before I talk about it. I don't show anyone anything that I do unless I know I'm going to do it perfectly. I don't post unless it's perfect. And so I've been deprogramming that a lot, and it's shifted so much in my life. But one thing that came up is I had an in-person pitch. I was going to pitch a business in person, my coaching services, and I was so nervous. And I'm like, what if I'm not perfect? What if they don't like me? All of those things. And I used a fear, deep imagining to help reprogram my beliefs around having to be perfect and fear. And that helped me out a lot. I also went back, and there's this workshop in the To Be Magnetic program called Shadow, and it helps you find your shadowy words. And those are like words where you feel shame and you don't want people to know you have those qualities about yourself. And so I went through that to find my shadow words and then to own my shadow words. So some of the words that I worked on this past month in October were burden, disappointment, beautiful, and angry. Like, those are all words that I felt at one point immense shame around, and I didn't want people to find out that my success was a burden. I didn't want people to find out that I'm a disappointment and I disappoint people. I'm not always perfect. I didn't want people to find out that I'm angry. Like, I've never been allowed to express that emotion. I always keep it pent up, and I didn't want people to find that out. And I also didn't want people to find out that I'm beautiful. And that was a lot of work to like understand that that was a shadow word. What led me there is I also did work around body image and, you know, being comfortable in my body. I used to be 30 pounds lighter when I was a cycling instructor, and then I stopped and I moved to Boston and my routines changed and I gained weight and all of those things. And I felt a lot of shame around that. And I thought the shame word that I was carrying with myself was fat. Like, I thought that was the shame. But I heard this awesome video of this guy where he was like, fat isn't a shameful word. First of all, it's not. And second of all, it's not a shadow word, because like, you hear people say that all the time, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, it doesn't matter. But people say, I feel fat, I look fat, you know, whatever. And a lot of like what I was doing work around body image, I'm like, fat is not a feeling. And so I was really working hard to like identify like, what are the things I'm actually feeling? Ugly, shame, whatever. And again, like, those again aren't shadow words, because I would talk about those things with people. I would tell my husband, oh, I feel really ugly today. I feel like a potato today. I don't look good today. And the thing about shadow words are like, those are the words that you're not going to own to anyone. And so as I was thinking, this guy was like, the true thing that you are ashamed of is being beautiful. Like, you are not comfortable owning that you're beautiful. And I'm like, wow, that's so true. Like, how often would I tell people that I'm beautiful, or just say that in a conversation? And so I did a meditation around that, and like reprogramming that and owning that I'm beautiful and owning that, you know, and I never believed it. I was doing all of this meditation work, all of these reprogrammings around owning my body and thinking my body is a great size and all of these things. And it's like, what do you do if you don't believe that? You know, what do you do if you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see? Are you just gonna lie to yourself and be like, oh, you're beautiful, oh, your body's a great size? And I'm like, I just don't believe that. I don't like the size of my body right now, and that's just how I feel. And I think that happens a lot too. Like, you know, when I'm working with clients and they're like, I'm an imposter. And it's like, you can't just go and be like one day, I'm not an imposter, I'm an expert. You know, it doesn't work like that. And I know like a lot of people have hard times with affirmations because it's hard to just change your identity overnight. And the thing that helped me with my body image, and I know it changed because of this really cool thing that happened, is like owning the fact that even if my body looks a certain way, or even if I don't like parts of my body, I can still be beautiful and I can still be a champion for myself. Oh my gosh, that took a lot of work to get there. And I know I got there because I was cycling the other day with my friend and I was looking in the mirror and I was being mean to myself and I was like, oh my gosh, your arms look so big. And the first thought I had in my mind was, and you're still beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, like that's how you know. Like, I'm gonna cry right now. Like, that's how you know. That's how you know things have been shifting within me. And it's like, how cool is that? Like, even if I didn't manifest anything, if that's all I got out of the month of October, that, you know, I might still be mean to my body, but I like have some backup now to come in and be like, and that's okay because we're still beautiful and we're still worthy of all the things that we want, no matter what you look like right now. Oh, oh, so good. The other thing that I worked through a lot in October was like this obsession with not knowing my thing. I feel like a lot of people struggle with this. Like, what is my purpose? What is my passion? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? What career am I supposed to follow? If you started a business, what kind of business? What kind of niche should you have? All of those things. I'm someone who's been in business for almost 3 years and I still have no idea what I'm doing. So you're never gonna know. You're just gonna keep following those pings and figuring it out. And for me, I was really struggling with this because I know a lot of people in my life who they know what their thing is. They know what their thing is. They have confirmation that they're on the right path in their life. And I'm like, I am so lost. I feel so lost sometimes. And so I had to do a lot of work around it being okay if I don't know what my thing is right now. And knowing that as long as I'm following my intuition, I'm gonna be going in the right place. And so the next thing I wanna do is I wanna tell you guys about the affirmations that I secured within my subconscious after working through this stuff. I already told you one of them, like my default belief whenever I start being mean to my body is, and I'm still beautiful and I'm worthy of the things that I want. That's awesome. So if you wanna take that one with you, I'm beautiful and worthy of the things that I want. The next list I'm gonna give you right now. I wanna move to another location to keep this interesting, but it's a little baby. It's a little baby Max. Maxi, I love you. Mwah. Okay, we'll move. Okay, so here's a list of affirmations that I have adopted into my subconscious after doing some of that inner work. I'm gonna read them because I wrote them down because it's a lot. They're in the subconscious, they're not in the conscious, don't forget. I have all I need right now to have everything I've ever wanted, AKA I don't need to be perfect. Good things happen for me even when I can't see the destination, AKA I don't need to know what my thing is. My success may burden others, but I am still worthy of it. And I own that my success may trigger others. That's a big one. That was my shadow word, burden. And I'm like really afraid that the bigger that I get, the more people are going to be like, oh my God, my life is horrible. But there was a lot of moments in my life in October where I saw people being super successful. Like I was envious of their success, and that trigger made me do this inner work, which has made me a better person. So maybe it's okay if my success triggers people. Next, I deserve to feel all of my emotions, AKA I can be angry. And this one's good too, especially if you also struggle with body image stuff. No matter how my body is perceived, I am still beautiful. And that one helped me out a lot too, on top of all the other body image stuff that we've already talked about, because people are gonna say what they're gonna say. And like, honestly, one of the reasons I struggle most with my body image is because I think I went through puberty in middle school before any of the other girls, so my body changed and I didn't know what was going on. But also in 5th grade, some boy in my class called me fat. Was I fat? No, I was a 11-year-old girl going through puberty. And that just really stuck with me my whole life. So it really helps me to say, no matter what other people think of my body, even if I think my body looks bad, I am still beautiful, I am still worthy. That helps a lot. On top of all of the things that we've talked about so far, we're following pings, we're unblocking. We need to take aligned action, and I kind of talked about that through the pings, but there was other aligned action that I took on top of those pings. And I love checking in with myself because like I said, we gotta remember the 3-part process. You gotta unblock, you gotta expand, and you gotta take aligned action. So on top of my pings, other aligned action I took was bragging about myself online to overcome my burden feeling. I made a whole video on YouTube about feeling like a burden, so that's something you guys should check out if you're feeling that way too. I talked to people about how I felt like a disappointment. Part of the workshop, when you go through it, if you do the shadow workshop, is all about outing your shadow, owning it. I am a disappointment. I have disappointed people sometimes. I'm worried I'm gonna disappoint people. I will disappoint people in the future, and I'm gonna own that that's gonna happen. It's part of me. It's who I am. I cannot get rid of it. I cannot. And so it's kind of like that, and that was super helpful. I had angry outbursts, and I let it be okay. And it was not in a scary kind of way, but I'm talking, I don't even, if I'm oh my God, I'm so frustrated right now. I wouldn't even do that in the past. So I remember I was in Mexico with my friend and I had something happen. I was oh my God, I'm so angry. And I just gotta be angry. And she goes, oh, what's going on? Simple. In my mind, 2 months ago, couldn't have done that. It's absolutely insane. And the last thing that I did, actually, the last thing that I need to do is my beautiful shadow. I have not outed that I am beautiful. So here I am telling you right now, I am beautiful. I am gorgeous. I am worthy of all the things that I want, and I own that I'm beautiful. Oh, Oh, you should do that too. Go own that you're beautiful. Go tell someone. Go tell someone today. So expanders that really helped. Remember, people who are doing the things that I want to do. Finding people who are posting imperfectly online was so helpful. I'm talking people with bad quality, bad videos, like things that I would judge. But then instead of judging them, I'm like, yes. I'm like, yes, you do that imperfectly. Yes, you pave the way for me so I can just show up as I am. Thank you. The other thing is like my husband who like thinks he's a god. If you've seen other videos, I think I talk about this in the video where I feel like a burden. He's my expander because he just talks about himself being a god and how he's successful, and that just shows me that like you can really own your success and not care what other people think, and no one gets mad at him. They're just like, yeah, Adrian's a god and he's good at everything he does and he tells people, and that's just part of his personality. Like he's owned that, and that could be a shameful thing, but it's not. The other thing was really an amazing expander, especially around body image, believe it or not, because expanders can be anybody, real people in your life, celebrities, cartoon characters, characters in movies, was Kourtney Kardashian. I saw a video clip of her talking about her body image and how it's changed and how she's gained weight over the years since being in a happy relationship.
I'm so into my thicker body. I looked at photos of my body when I was so skinny. It is cringy. When I was super skinny, it's like a time that I was super anxious, not about eating, not about staying at a certain weight, but like just in like toxic relationships. I used to always say this, like when I'm super skinny, just know I'm not happy.
You know, and when she was super skinny, she was like not in a good place in her life. And that was the same with me too. If I think about when I had lost the most weight, I was like going to school full-time, working full-time, doing a cycling job, going to like taking my coach training certification program. I was doing a lot. I was unhappy. I was miserable. I was crying every single day. Like, do I want to go back to that place? No, I effing love my life now. And so why can't I love my body too, just like she is? And it's like, that was such a good expander for me. Okay, now let's get into the juicy stuff, what I manifested in October. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna share some journal entries with you. So, you know how I said one of my pings was closing burnout breakup? I was literally laughing going through my journal for October because I should have known I was gonna cancel burnout breakup. I think I canceled it on October 31st. This is a journal entry of mine from October 4th. Today I realized that if burnout breakup doesn't happen exactly how I want, that's okay because I'm still gonna receive manifestations, which I did, but also should have been my first sign that I didn't probably wanna do this program. And then there's another one where I'm like, I don't wanna do this program, where on October 5th, literally the next day, this was circling my mind, today I was thinking about burnout breakup and how I don't really wanna launch it. And the reason why is because I like white space on my calendar. I like having very intentional clients that I work with and a lot of free time to do other creative projects. And it's hilarious because I literally, look at this. I literally posted that. I literally posted that to my freaking Instagram account. Like, I should have known. And it's so funny because I mean, I guess everything happens when it needs to happen, but I wonder like if things would have gone differently, if I would have recognized sooner, like the patterns in what I was saying. This is why I love working with coach. I mean, a coach isn't reading through my freaking notebook, but whenever I'm working with clients, I notice the patterns and what they're saying. And I take note, right? If one call, they're telling me the same thing that they told me 2 calls ago, we're going to bring attention to that and catch things. So you don't spend 30 days like I did selling a program only to realize you didn't want to sell it in the first place. Okay, now, like I said, fun part, let's get to the manifestations. Okay, so at one point, I manifested so much free stuff. I put on my micro manifestation list. I want to manifest free stuff, help my trust muscle see that I can manifest things. I got free energy drinks. I got $10. I found $3 on the floor. The craziest free thing I got though was I manifested an extra purse. Like I got the Lululemon dupes from Amazon. I got 3 of them instead of just the 2 that I ordered. And I was like, okay. I also found a first class flight to Mexico for under $500 round trip, which was crazy. I went to go see my business partner. It was so fun. I manifested sales calls for my one-on-one coaching. And what was crazy about that, I manifested that and a video that got like 19,000 views. All of that came after I workshopped my burden, like outing my burden shadow. And then immediately I had people who wanted to sign up one-on-one. I had a viral video on Instagram. I got 50 YouTube subscribers. I manifested a life-changing massage in Mexico. That was on my list too. And like this massage was so good, I almost cried, like life-changing stuff. And I also was trying to manifest a version of Burnout Breakup that I liked. I did manifest a new version of it, and then eventually I closed it down. So here's to all that, because you can manifest stuff and not want to do it. So I manifested in total like money, experiences, things, like so much stuff. And I probably manifested more than that, because I also try to manifest those expanders that I talked about. I always love manifesting content ideas. Like I always write down good content ideas, keep them coming. Viral videos, had lots of viral videos. So I'm not sure what else I'll manifest in November, but I'm super looking forward to it. Drop what questions you have down below about the manifestation process, or tell me like what is something you manifested recently. I want to know. If you like this video, give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe. I post Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays if I feel like it, and sometimes that turns into Saturdays, like today, because this video was just on my mind and I had to get it done. But yeah, that's it for me. I will see you guys on the very next one.